What is up, Guardians? Rarely Brad here for a beginner's guide to Destiny. This guide will teach you everything that you need to know when starting out into the world of Destiny. Starting off your adventure, you will have to choose from 3 different classes: a Titan, a Hunter, and a Warlock. Each class has a different playstyle, as well as clothing and armor line. The weapons you choose will all be the same, but the armor will be different. Starting out with a Titan, we have one of the most easy to use classes, and as a beginner, I would highly recommend picking out the Titan. His jumps are really easy to use, and his abilities are also super simple as well. Next, going on to the Hunter, we have one that's a little bit more agile, as he doesn't have as much defense as the Titan, but he is a lot faster, and his jumps are a little bit more precision-like. And then finally, we have the Warlock, where his armor and speed aren't too great, but his recovery from damage is quite amazing. His abilities are top-notch and probably more better than both the Hunter and the Titan. And that's why we're going to start off this as a Warlock. And so first we have to choose our race and our gender, and we're going to choose an Awoken female, but we're going to look at the other ones too. We have a Human, Awoken, and an Exo. And these are the 3 races. A Human obviously is us. The Awoken were human, basically in a spaceship, and then dramatic events happen, and now they're Awoken, they have special powers and all that stuff. And then finally there is the Exo, which they're robots that developed a kind of like human motion kind of way. We're going to do an Awoken female because the female for the Awoken are the dominant species there, not the male. Surprise, surprise. But we're just going to pick out the hair color, and we're going to get it started. It really doesn't matter what you choose here, but, you know, make it something you like because you can't edit it afterwards. So, you know, make sure you like it. There's plenty to choose from too. Sadly, for the men, there's no beards you can pick from, which that should have been a thing. Hopefully they do make it where you can come back and customize your character and all that stuff. But for right now, this is kind of permanent. So, you know, mess around here for a little bit. Get something that you really like, especially the eye color for the Awoken. That's kind of creative. You can be with that. Well, we're just going to be boring. After this is going to be a cutscene. And I'll be talking through this cutscene. I know, I'm a terrible person. But if you're playing playthrough, you don't get to hear my voice through it. But this is basically the beginning. So this is before the Golden Age. Destiny that we're going to be playing through, it's going to be post Golden Age, but this is before. Basically, we're going to be discovering the Traveler. That giant white ball that you keep seeing in Destiny, that's the Traveler. And this is the first discovery. Basically, we've seen it in like space photos and all that stuff, but this is the first time we're actually heading toward it. We're landing our rocket ship, yay! And so basically this is an alien life form, so they do have guns on, but again, this is more or less the era right now that we're living in. This would be before the Golden Age. And this is, of course, planet Mars. And they do have guns on them because they pretty much they think this is the alien life form. And I think they're Chinese soldiers, don't get me wrong. I know they're Chinese explorers first to go to Venus, but right now these I don't know what country they're from. There's also something very important that's going to be happening as they're walking through Mars. As you can see, it looks like day is changing, the weather is changing. Well, this is kind of a present and more or less a theory to present how many different Guardians are going to go through the different things, and this is like kind of like the different dimensions, I guess you could say. Basically, how is it possible that you're going to be able to do that and someone else is going to do the same thing? Well, this is kind of explaining it, kind of like there's different worlds or different ways that things are going to be viewed. Kind of weird to say that. But here's the Traveler, and if you notice very carefully, it's raining. This is what the Traveler's doing. It's causing rain at Mars. So, kind of crazy. And here we're going to get the speaker to talk about the Traveler and how he brought the Golden Age. Basically through transmogrification, I think. I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. Basically, he made the planets around our solar system livable. And he brought amazing technology, and it brought us into the Golden Age.
It was a time of miracles. We stared out at the galaxy and knew that it was our destiny to walk in the light of other stars. But the Traveler had an enemy, a darkness which had hunted it for eons across the black gulfs of space, centuries after our golden age.
And of course we get the darkness that is a long enemy of the Traveler who went and found us. So,
And that
bum,
was
bum,
the
bum.
But it was also a beginning.
Now we're just basically loading into it. Yeah, don't worry about that stuff. Ignore that. So we're going to be starting off this playthrough through a mission you won't be able to play again. What I mean by that is basically you can't replay this mission. There's a couple missions in Destiny you can't replay, but this is one of them, the beginning one right here. And it's kind of why I had to create a new character to do this too, to show y'all. So basically this is the Cosmodrome. This is in Russia right now. Well, what was Russia. That right there is a ghost. He is your loyal companion. The traveler made him. He is there basically to look after you, to guide you, and to open doors. Right now he is looking for a guardian, which is us, or me. Well, me and us. Well, right there is the Fallen. So, brief preview. And here's a better look at the Fallen. That is the Captain in the center, a Dreg on the right, and a Vandal on the left. The Dreg is the weakest, Captain is the strongest, and Vandal is right in the middle. They're the Fallen species, and they are hunting us down.
Is it possible? There you are.
So now we actually get to play.
Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. Work. You're alive. You don't know how long I've been looking for you. I'm a ghost. Actually, now I'm your ghost. And you? Well, you've been dead a long time.
Yeah, we've been dead for a long time, but he revised us, and now we also have superpowers. Yeah, well, our abilities, basically, as a warlock.
We aren't safe here. I have to get you to the city. Hold still. Don't worry, I'm still with you. We need to move fast.
So the ghost, obviously, he's not going to be in front of us or blocking our way. He's going to be inside of us, giving our guide. If you played Halo, basically like Cortana.
We won't survive long out in the open like this. Let's get inside the wall.
So we're off, and now we're going to head. We're going to head straight into the wall. This giant wall blocking the Cosmodrome. So basically, the little ghost was just looking for us, and, well, looking for some kind of guardian to help protect the traveler. And he found us.
Okay.
Now we're going to head up here.
Need to find you a weapon.
Gonna take a
Or the
right.
Fallen find us.
It's quite beautiful, too, the
Quiet.
Cosmodrome out here is.
They're right above us.
On the left, we're going to have on the top, we're going to have a little mini-map, and it's going to showcase if there's any enemies ahead of us, in front of us, just like that. As well as have a little arrow and an objective to go where we should go. On the top right, where you see the ghost, that shows who's talking right now.
I'll see what I can do.
For the main part, it's just going to be your ghost. And as you can see, there's fallen enemies all around us. And he's just looking for light. As you can see, there's tons of little eyeballs looking at us over there. Just great. And there's tons of fallen enemy. So we're going to go through this little gate once it opens up, and we're going to pick out our first weapon. You won't be able to get this weapon anywhere else. So, you know, if you delete it, it's gone forever. This is a post-Golden Age weapon, I think? Yeah. Basically like an M4. And our first enemy. These are Dreg, and the one right there we're killing is a Vandal. And we're just going to keep running through here, pass through here, and the Dreg comes. I'm trying to figure out how to punch. I'm sorry. It's been a while. That's kind of weird. There we go. Feels weird being a naked guardian with just a gun, but we figured it out. So of course this is the Fallen race, and the Fallen races have different kind of clans in a sense. This right here is the Devil, basically because they have red around them. Devil's the red. The Kings are yellow. Wolves are blue, which we'll get into in the DLC. But for right now, the Devils and the Kings are the ones on Earth right now.
There's more ahead. Keep it up.
Now we're going through here, and we're going to find something very important. Our first golden chest. Well, no, this isn't golden chest, but this is basically a chest. And this will give us our secondary weapon, a shotgun. Shotguns work, of course, very up close to do the most amount of damage. And here we have
Don't touch them.
Yep. You're not really going to find trip mines anywhere else besides this mission right here. A little bit more in the DLC, but right now this is basically it for trip mines, so don't worry about them too much. There's a couple of dregs that come up, but nothing too much to handle. Don't worry about going. The health in this system is basically a shield, and then once your shield gone, you have a health bar. But you don't have to worry about finding any items to recover that health. It will all go back up. Make sure to reload after every battle. And as you can see, there's a little devil flag up in front. They have their devil markings. And they threw a grenade, and I kind of was right by it, but it's okay. Kill these dregs, and I think that's one. A couple of these gone out. Dregs have 2 arms, Vandals have 4, and the Captains have 4 arms. Dregs used to have 4 arms, but they get ripped off when they're starting out. Kind of interesting lore there.
Hope there's something left out there.
And now we're coming out to the main area of the Cosmodrome. As you can see, there's a giant rocket ship. Basically, it carried humans and supplies and all that stuff. Again, this is more Golden Age. Now it's abandoned and all that stuff. Signaling off a flare. If you can be surprised, this is the only time you're going to see a flare happen by a Fallen. And a catch should be coming. Yeah, these are little ships that drop off Fallen. We're just going to ignore them right now just because, you know, we're going to kind of mix it in with the story. You can find them if you want, just make sure you're backed off and don't get clustered by them, because that's kind of where you'll be in a downfall. They'll shoot at you, but don't worry. And this is the first time we encounter Shanks. Basically, flying machines that shoot you. Not really too difficult to beat.
I'm picking up
And we leveled up to level 2.
Could be our
Basically, just doing general things around will get you leveled up each way. And once we're out of the clear, we're gonna just make sure we upgrade our little subclass. So there's 2 subclasses that you can use, or at least one at the beginning. We're going to upgrade the Void. Of course, we have our armor, and we have our weapon and a ghost. If we go down, we can look. You know, we have a couple things locked right now just because we haven't got to them yet, and we have the other emblem, but we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to keep on our Warlock emblem. And we're going to upgrade our notch, and we're going to have our grenade. So this is basically a vortex grenade. Basically, it does damage if the enemy lingers in the grenade. It kind of pulls them, not really too much, but for the most part, that's how it is. We're just going to kill these enemies, and we're almost finished with the first mission. And we're going to come across our first captain.
There's a ship. Clear them out.
And yes, the captain has a shield. Before we do any damage, we have to get rid of that shield. The shield will recharge, even if we break it. And you gotta be careful around captains, because right now he has kind of like a shotgun weapon, but the shotgun pretty much just put him out of Mars. Get rid of the Shanks, and that's pretty much it for the first mission.
All right. Let me see if I can get
This is the ship we're gonna be taking off in right here, and yeah, that's about it for this. Come back for part 2, and we'll be exploring the tower. The tower overlooking the Traveler, and I'll explain everything you need to know in there. And the tower's a little bit big, but once you know everything around it, it gets pretty simple to use.
Will it fly?
I can make it work. It's not going to break orbit, but it just might get us to the city. Now, above that transmitter. Bringing you in. We can come back for them when you're ready. Let's get you home. Welcome to the last safe city on Earth. The only place the Traveler can still protect. It took centuries to build. Now, we're counting every day it stands. And this tower is where the Guardians live.